Hey everybody, it's Stacey with Pageantry Now. Welcome to, I don't even know what day it is. Welcome to COVID-19 and in our new reality. I'm sorry, it's Wednesday. We've been trying to do as many interviews as we can, and I know I've been a little bit behind the scenes, and Fatima's been doing interviews on Instagram just because I've been dealing with some health challenges with my heart. So, thank you everybody for being so awesome and supportive and sending me messages. I'm glad to be doing a new video tonight and having a new title holder on that's going to talk about a brand new system, Robin Casella, and she's going to be talking about her title. Before we do that, let's just talk about Pageantry Now, what we're all about. We're highlighting positivity in pageantry and the amazing things title holders do using a crown and a sash to change their world. So often we only see the night that someone gets crowned and that's it, or you hear a mistake or a questionable answer on stage, or maybe stuff that's on reality TV. And the truth of the matter, title holders work super, super hard to give back to their communities and do a lot of charity work. And we really want to know the why behind that. So, with that being said, if you haven't already, please like us here, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube, bring your friends, ask questions. Please make sure you keep the questions PG because we do have a younger audience and want to make sure that the questions are appropriate for them too. So, and if you like your question, we will highlight it on screen. And with that, let's get the party started. And here we go. Hi.
Hi, good
Tell us who
evening.
you are.
I am Robin Casella, and I'm Mrs. Illinois Elite Nation of States.
Oh my God. Okay, so I know nothing about your system. So before we go into your story, tell me about Nation of States because I know nothing about it. So, go.
So, Nation of States is the system, and we, just like a lot of systems, we have a certain age, and then we have. So this system is basically all about empowering women, empowering people for positivity and to help others in the community and to give back. And so that's worked great for me because I feel like that's my mission anyway by God. So it just worked out great. They're perfect.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then, so what are the areas of
Excited to
competition?
be a part. So we have interview and of course, and then we have evening gown, and we have unconventional wear. So that's something that's different with our system because we are concerned about.
Unconventional wear?
Yes. So we get to just kind of come up with our own repurposed or recycled or design to, because we're saving the planet, recycling and keeping our earth clean, so that we can have our children live longer and have a better world. So unconventional wear, which is super fun because everybody's creativity gets to come out and you get to have a little fun with that. And then we have swimsuit, or it would be athletic wear. And so it's a full gamut of the norms, but we do have that additional competition that is a fun one. So I'm
Well,
looking forward to that.
and I've got to say, like, I know, I mean, I've had title holders on from Earth. I'm friends with the directors. Like, I know um, this has got it for, especially for something that is uh, planet based. This has got to be a really influential, interesting time for you as well, because it's amazing how the planet is
Yes,
trying to correct itself right now. I know you guys
absolutely.
are in
Absolutely.
Illinois. Are you near Chicago? Like, are you, because I know Chicago's been having a lot of issues. I'm in Miami, so I know there's a lot of problems here too. So
And I'm located in Belleville, which is just outside of St. Louis, Missouri. So
oh,
we're just over the line into Missouri,
my
where I
my
live. So
my
yeah.
husband's
Um,
mama lives in St. Louis. So
oh, really?
Yeah, she
That's
just turned
awesome.
100.
Small world.
Yeah. So okay.
Well,
All right.
congratulations on her.
I know, is that craziness?
Crazy. That's awesome, though. Should all hope to be that healthy and live that long.
And I love it up there. It's like so beautiful. And again, I would think that like just from the standpoint of like the beauty of the area, it's very rich, it's very green, it's got lots of open spaces. So that of course in and of itself makes it so that you are very blended with the environment, which we not everybody. I live in Miami. Everything's cement. My neighborhood is not. We're the first neighborhood in Miami, and it still is green, and we're trying to keep our canopy. But that's always the challenge: is trying to be able to not have cement everywhere in a big city. So,
For sure. And where I live, I have a cornfield in the backyard. So
oh, that's so
it's nice to be able to see
that's
the
so
green.
cool
Yeah.
though. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. And so, uh, where are nationals? Do you guys even know? Like, I know that
Yeah.
everybody's nationals are kind of up in the air right now. So,
Well, we are still a go as of right now for our nationals. They're in Omaha, Nebraska. So they're in the first weekend of June. And so we're kind of waiting and seeing at this point to see how these things shake out with this horrible virus that's causing everything to shut
I
down.
know
So,
it's
but
crazy.
hoping that we'll stay on track for nationals. We're also excited. So,
So keep it in the Midwest. That'll be cool. I'm original
yeah,
Midwest girl. I'm originally from outside of Detroit, so I am used to that green, lot cornfields across the street. Like that was like I lived on a pine tree farm growing up, so that was my life. And then I moved to Miami, and I went, wait, this is not like what
that's
I'm
the change.
used to. It's a big change.
Right. And we do have we have an international portion to our system as well. So we have even ladies coming from other countries to represent their country. So we've got the nation of states portion, and then we have the internationals portion, which is fun because even if you say aren't representing your state, but you could still represent your heritage, where it be
That's so cool.
Germany or Italy, if you're not. So there's more opportunity. And so it's exciting and very, very, very good system to be a part of. I'm very excited.
I'm so surprised because I know nothing about them. And usually, I mean, obviously, I mean, there's hundreds of pageants in the United States, so it's really hard to stay, maybe thousands. So it's hard to stay on top of what's out there. I mean, I know for me, I've had some titles where people are like, "What is that?" I'm just like, they've been around for this long time, but no one knows about them because if they're smaller pageants, you don't necessarily get the coverage. So that's part of why this is so important. And you've got people sending you love. I don't
Yeah.
know, whoever is there that's sending all the hearts up, please ask comments or make comments, ask questions if you can. Bring your friends, invite them to hang out with us so that you can be part of this
Yeah.
process too. So, uh, so did you go at large, or did you have a
Yeah.
competition for your state? And let me tell you, the crown is
At
awesome.
large. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love it.
You
It's
look
beautiful.
just like one of my best friends who is from Chicago. Like you could be her sister.
Really?
And you talk
How
like her
funny.
too. It's so weird. I keep like,
I
why
don't
is
get that
Kristen
very much
wearing a
either.
crown?
I don't get that very much. So yeah, well, how about that?
I'll show you a picture later, but you could be her
Yeah.
doppelganger. Yeah, okay.
How about that? Yeah, you definitely have to show me later, for
They
sure.
say that everybody has a twin on the planet, that there's only a certain amount of genetic possibilities that we can have. So there's somebody, but that would be weird that you guys are from like pretty much the same area and to have that.
Right. Exactly. That would be strange. Yes, you'll have to show me. I need to know now.
Now you need
I
to
need
know.
to see the person.
All right.
Yeah.
So what made you get in? What made you want to do a pageant? Like what inspired this?
Well, I've actually been in pageants since I was a little girl. I'm originally from Tennessee and grew up in South Carolina, so that's definitely in my blood. And my family, we all have done it. So I went up through high school and did it through high school, and I stopped for a while, and had a baby, got married, and then it was always a calling for me to do it. I love it. I love the camaraderie that all the ladies have, and just the fun of it. I felt like it had a bad rap for a very long time, and I saw an opportunity for Mrs. to compete, and I thought, why not? Because this is so right up my alley, and I'm itching to get back on stage. I did some other competing that I didn't have to talk for. It was fun, but it was more kind of just body building kind of things. But so I decided to broaden my horizons and actually speak and make a difference. So I got back into it, and it's wonderful. It's something I feel like it just clicked when I got back into it, that is my purpose. It's what I'm supposed to be doing here on earth. So I felt like I just needed to just go with it and make the best difference that I can to as many people as I can.
That's phenomenal. And
That's
I same kind of experience. I started when I was 16, but you did the whole thing and did teen, did miss. I did misses the very, very first part of my marriages in plural. Uh, um, and then I took a break, but it was when I came back in my 30s that everything started to click and it made sense why this crazy pageant thing is so important and how it really does because there was a bad rap for such a long time. Um, I was a teen competing when Vanessa Williams lost her crown, and that scarred me. And I was like, I just can't believe that someone would take advantage of a woman like that, and certainly that the organization that she supported would in turn victimize her as well. So I was like, I'm never doing Miss America. Uh, and I didn't. But then later, as an adult, and once I got past that and got into my 30s, then I became a director for Miss America in Texas. And I loved it. And I love competing and having purposeful moments now as a woman and being able to share my story through pageantry. I mean, I told you I'm getting ready to do some big national interviews about what's going on in the country right
right.
now. And that wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for pageants. So, um, and I think it's a phenomenal opportunity to share your story when maybe you
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, I just a crown. I always say crown is your microphone. Jessica Barclay says, "Are you both on lockdown?" I am on lockdown. Are you on lockdown too?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
The
We are
state
stuck in the house. I'm working from home. I'm also being a teacher now because I have an 11-year-old. So
homeschooling with a twist.
yes, that's fun.
We are doing gymnastics live
Oh,
every day at
work,
2
work
p.m.
from
Eastern time if you want your daughter to do gymnastics for something to do.
home.
So
Oh, yeah, that would be great. She's a dancer, so yes, she would that too.
we yeah we and
But I
we
definitely think with
go ahead.
no, go ahead. I was just gonna say with pageants, I got her into them now. I never said I would force her to do them, and I kind of waited until she was old enough to kind of make the decision that she wanted to try, and because I thought for me, my experience growing up is it better and not a bad person, not a good person, not an ungrateful person. I think that it made me more humble and it helped my confidence, and so I wanted that for her in a way that I couldn't show on my own. So it's a joy to be able to watch her kind of develop and go through the same things. And so we're kind of competing together, but not on the same systems. But it's fun. It's being on both sides of the spectrum.
Well, and then you get to be a coach like for her too. So,
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
that's super, super important. Jessica also says, what's one goal you want to achieve from competing that isn't winning the crown dependent? So, meaning, you know, what do you want to do
Um,
if it doesn't win the crown?
I will not cease and doing what I'm doing. Um, with or without the crown is it's just me, and that's the way that I am. So my motto and my I don't really have a platform. You're supposed to have a platform, but I really don't.
Not
My
always.
mine is just be a light because I felt like God has inspired me to be a light. I've always been that light for other people, that I wanted to be that beacon for everybody. So I don't just go one, like say for cancer or whatever cause. I help as many causes as I can, so that I can be a spotlight and shed light on them. So with or without the crown, but it's helpful if I have the crown because it helps people more because it shines up. So
It's crazy how having a crown allows people to go to listen to you when before, if I know
right,
when I was trying to do like just speaking appearances and things, um, that people would be like, oh, okay, great. But as soon as they find out that I'm a title holder, then everything changes. Like, oh,
right.
you want to come? Okay, great, fantastic, let's have you. Um, and which is great. We want. I mean, obviously, you don't have to have you don't have to have a platform. It helps to have something that gives you opportunities to speak about, but especially if you're trying to highlight other people and their positivity, then that means that you can really open up that to go anywhere and speak to anybody and do
Yeah,
that.
and
So that's awesome.
that's my goal. And so that's my goal because I just want to uh, be that beacon. Or they're enough, or if they don't smile on it. Hey, I want if I can just give one person a smile that made my day. So it's as simple as that. But at the same time, in the world we live today, of it. So I'm happy with the way that I am. I'm happy to have the opportunity to help others, even just a little bit.
I think as women, that's our goal, and that's the one thing I say too with pageants is, and I don't know if the same is for you, but I know that teen miss years, I was really focused on the crown, and I was really
Yep.
focused on the prize package, and I was really focused on, you know, fame. And when I came back to it, I went, oh my God, none of that matters. Like, none of that matters.
No,
I don't care.
right.
I mean, I do sometimes care about the crown because I want it to be pretty because that's just me because I'm a goofball. But um,
But we're supposed to be that way. I mean, ultimately, we're little girls still, and we like the bling and the pretty stuff. So, but
I mean, it's people are like, what do you look at? I'm like, I do look at the crown. Like, there are certain crowns that are like the ones I want to have, and I mean, so stupid, but but that crown really represents so much and so many things you can do to really change the world in a positive way. And that's really where this show came from in the last 4 years, is that I got so tired of the negative things that I saw about pageantry. Clearly, uh, reality TV kind of took us down a really difficult path, and social media to some degree has as well, because so many things are now, and now with memes and everything else, and I've been a meme. Not my favorite moment, but there is a meme out there of me doing an interview with a Miss USA. I will not say who it is, and there is a counter on it of how many times she and I collectively say
oh, great!
I
I have
think
not seen that.
I think it's been taken down. It's been up. It was quite a while ago, but yeah, yeah. Imagine. Jessica Barclay says that she's in London and she's on lockdown as well. So
Hello.
sending lots of love to her, and that she has an almost 3-year-old at home. So um,
Thank you for watching
yeah, we
and
really
stay.
appreciate. Please, everything that's going on in Europe is terrifying, and to know that we're about 7 days away from we're about 7 days behind, the UK right now. But
Yeah,
it,
the toilet paper thing, I have to say, I'm okay with the toilet paper for the moment, but I literally had a friend go, "Hey, are you okay on toilet paper?" And I'm like, "This is a silly thing to talk about," but I, I'm like, "Well, I think I'm down to one," and they're like, "Okay, I'm gonna bring you by some," and I'm like, "Really?" And today I got hand delivered to my front door toilet paper. I'm like, "Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. Be a light." I tell everybody, be that light because that is awesome. I mean, they didn't have to come over to my house and, but they were out and they were like, hey, my friend needs toilet paper. There we go.
yeah. No, I
But this is the world we
understand.
live in right
I
now.
know. Well, it was like, so last Wednesday I went in the hospital. I was having cardiac issues. Um, got put into isolation because they thought that my cough that I have could possibly be COVID. Uh,
Oh my
Terrifying for me because I didn't know what was going
God.
on. And Luckily, they said, listen, you're stable. We're going to send you home, but you need to stay in quarantine for 14 days. And so I've spent the last, well, it was yesterday, I finally got the negative. It took 6 days to get results. So for 6 days, my whole
You're
brain
kidding.
was, no, 6 days. Because it started to hit Miami. Uh, the first reported cases were confirmed cases were March 12th. My business shut
Hmm.
down March 13th. And then March 18th, I started to have this problem with my heart and got rushed to the hospital. And that it took that long. And so on March 12th, we had three reported cases here, and now we have 350. So it's
It's scary.
replicating that fast. So, uh,
Yeah.
in all seriousness, my friends have been saying they'll call me, do you need this, do you need that, and they're just like, well, just drop it at the front door. uh,
Yep.
we can't find there's no canned goods, there's no eggs in the entire city. No,
No,
the toilet paper thing, at first I was like, this is just absurd, which it really is. Like, we live in Miami,
it
there's
is.
hurricanes, so like, hello people, hello.
Right.
We have major
What are we talking
disasters
about?
that happen here. You guys are in Illinois where they have tornadoes. You're in Tornado Alley. Like,
Exactly. You're right.
we know how to stock up for specific disasters. Toilet paper is
Yes.
not the thing on the list.
It's not number one. It's not number one.
No, apparently we need it for number one and number two. I don't know.
Exactly. That was the last thing I was thinking about was that. But it really was a shocker a couple of weeks ago after we kind of already had some shutdown, um, going to the grocery store and seeing that the shelves were virtually empty,
Empty.
and I'm like, it just it just blew me away because I just never expected it to happen so quickly. But wow, that's all I can say.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I'm
Jessica,
staying home and my daughter home. We're making sure that we do not leave this house unless we have to. No.
my husband and I went out yesterday once I got the negative, just to get, I wanted a sub, which was the craziest thing because we've eaten in. And I didn't get
Yeah.
out of the car. I stayed in the car. He went inside. When we got home, we stripped. When we got home, he jumped in the shower. I washed my hands. I was like, that's it. And I went, oh my God, this is our world right now. Jessica also says that she's hosting PE sessions online for free to be able to help kids under 7 do their
Awesome.
PE. She also is a
Great.
coach for developing platform if you need help. So, um,
Okay,
and
great. I will look at the comments later
later on, there you go.
and reach out. Yeah,
She said
thank you.
that we're, I guess, Americans are behaving better than people in the UK did. And she said she's
Really?
never been so embarrassed to be British before. They've only got eggs in the restaurants, and the restaurants are shut, and they took them. Oh my gosh, sold them in the restaurant.
They're selling the food from the restaurant to the
Uh
people.
huh.
You
Oh
know,
my gosh.
I think I heard some a Texas Roadhouse. I think. I'll double check it and I'll post it later if it's wrong. But I think they're actually selling like meat because they can't, it'll go bad. And if not
Oh,
enough people are doing
wow.
takeout, then enough people need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, crazy.
No, well, one of my friends is in London, and she can't get rice. She's because also
Yeah.
too, like in the UK, they're having issues because Brexit just happened too, so their abilities to be able to have goods and services come throughout their country is limited right now, so they're in a much more dire situation, just from being able to get imported goods. She says that a lot of restaurants, because they were shut down, had to sell off all of their stock just to so it didn't go bad. We went through that too here in Miami.
Yeah.
We've had several hurricanes, and uh, of course, with a hurricane, you don't have power for weeks.
Yeah.
It's magical.
Right.
It's so awesome. But the restaurants, a lot of the restaurants were like donating the food and doing barbecues just to cook everything off, so that we
That's
could
nice.
be able to support people that maybe didn't have a home or didn't have electricity or didn't have stocked up foods. So again, being that light, just trying to be able to find ways to make good out of a situation that, um, in any disaster. This clearly is a pandemic, which is global. She says that they don't have any couscous, quinoa, or rice in all of the UK.
Well,
She
I
says,
can't find any here either. So,
"Are you serious?
yeah,
Wait.
absolutely serious. Yes.
In the heart of farming,
Not
you
any.
can't
No.
either? Are you serious? Oh my gosh.
No. Yes. Yes. I'm serious.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It surprised me. And I've been to more than one store and no, they're gone. All the beans and rice and quinoa and all that, it's gone.
If I can
And
get
I'm
if
thinking,
I can get some, I'll see if I can send it to you because
yeah, send them my way. That's great.
I hate saying it, but in Miami, because we have such a huge Hispanic population, which is good, we have tons of rice here. So I mean, I'm saying that I haven't been to the store, so I don't know. But
Yeah, don't
Mike,
go. Don't go.
Mike, was there rice on the shelves? I don't even remember. No. Oh no, my husband's like,
No.
okay. All right. Jessica says, what's one lesson you have learned from the crisis that you don't want to forget after this?
Let's see. See. But I think something that really hits home for me is um, family. Um, do not take a moment for granted or a minute that you're with someone that you care for. And I always think about that kind of thing, but it just makes you go, "Whoa, this is real. This could be instantaneous that you're not expecting, and that can happen any day of the week." But when something's so massive and it's global, you really refocus yourself and go, "Okay, wow." Especially if you're forced to stay home with these people, and you're like, "Okay, we need this time. There's a reason for this happening. Maybe we all need to go back to the home and be with our families." And so that is to me the biggest thing. We all know about washing our hands and not putting our hands. I've told my daughter, I said, "Hey, you know, you don't need to do anything different than I've told you since birth.
Right.
Clean your hands." I mean, all those things are the same. It's just, I think for me, it's just the time of just thinking about family and how important family is and what really matters.
I agree. I agree. And honestly, for me, just to tag on to that, my husband has been my rock through. I've got a long list of medical issues. I was diagnosed with terminal cancer 23 years ago. I have a cardiac issue because of my cancer treatments. I was hit by a truck training for a triathlon 8 years ago and on my bicycle.
Well,
So
that's
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, and then to have this happen, I was like, seriously, people.
What's going on?
My husband has been my rock, and when they took me into isolation, they were like, okay, you have to leave, and they took him away, and I went, wait, this is without
No,
him?
no, no.
And
Hmm.
one of the most magical moments of that moment, I'm gonna cry. Um, he went on Facebook and told everybody on Facebook, and went on to Pageantry Now on Facebook and told everybody Stacy's in isolation. Send her messages. She doesn't have contact with anybody. The amount of messages and calls and people that I know from all over the world that came through, um, I made my heart grow like 100 times. I had no idea the reach that I have built up. Um, and it was true, absolutely positively true, that my pageant family was there sending me love like I had never felt before. I had two different queens that are specialists, and one of them is a ICU nurse, and so she was messaging me the whole time, trying to give me what to expect, what was happening. Another one is a CEO at a hospital. She was messaging me what to do. I was like, how lucky can I be that I have this amazing extended family? Because he and I are home a lot. We spend a lot of time together. Uh, it was really warming to know that what we do here, isn't just, hey, thanks for being on the show. So, and I will never forget that.
It matters, you know. I mean,
It made me feel love like I have.
you shouldn't. That is a wonderful moment. Yeah, I love that. That was very sweet of your husband.
Oh, look at that.
Good job.
One of my friends from the Philippines, like, saying hi. Thanks, Lando. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be home. Um, Jessica says that this whole thing that's going on is making her have to homeschool full time with you too. So what's your job? Like, what do you
Yeah,
do that you're able to do at home?
I'm an insurance agent, so
Oh my
I can do
gosh.
most everything. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're having lots of
So
fun right now.
yes,
We made that phone
the
call.
calls are still
Woo!
coming in, but exactly. And I think the amount of people that are on in isolation, they're on the internet and they're trying to work from home is bogging the systems down. And so everything seems to take like 3 times longer. But you just got to take a breath and go, I'll get done what I can get done. It'll be okay.
And then how are you balancing? Because like you've got, obviously, now pageant appearances are done, but
Right,
you're working at home and you've got an 11-year-old that now you're essentially being a teacher to too. How is that working? And
right.
you got to be a wife too. Like
Yeah.
it's a lot of stuff that I think maybe we don't realize how much we're doing until then it's like really in your face going, oh, wait, hold on a second. So, how are you juggling all of that?
Um, very, very carefully. I will just say that my husband is a truck driver, so he's one that's having to be out in all of
Oh my
this.
gosh.
So, yeah, right. So,
God
so
bless him. We need him. This is like without people like him and all of the medical professionals and all the scientists, the pharmacy staff, the people that are having to work, none of this would be going the right way.
yeah,
So tell him thank you
absolutely.
so much, and thank you for you having to, I mean, you
Absolutely.
support him as his wife. So
Yeah. No, thank you. I will tell him that. But I just try and go, okay, well, I usually work on the schedule anyway because with being a title holder and a mother and a wife and a full-time job, I kind of have to stay on that. So at home, I had to just go, okay, well, I'm here working here, and then I can set a schedule. This time she does this amount of work, and then so, I mean, it doesn't end at that's for sure. Her school I might do it more than 2 times a day, because I might do it in the morning, I might in the middle of the day, and I do it in the evening so that we get everything in because otherwise nothing would get done. So
Are
we have to
Go ahead.
at work.
Are they are they doing remote school for you
I
guys?
was gonna say we have to make it work.
We got to, because like that's the
Um,
only thing we've got a choice to do right at this point. Are they doing remote school though, or is she able to log on to portals and stuff where you are?
we don't have to. They basically sent most everything home. And then they do have links of things that they can go on and do, like for additional work to kind of piggyback on what they've already sent to them. Um, so we get updates from the teachers periodically, so which is nice, and we hear from the superintendents even. And what one thing that they do really, and I was super excited about this, is that those in need of food, so the ones that get the food on a daily basis from school, the school buses are bringing the food to the bus
Wow.
stops. Yes. So every morning, I don't know, it's probably around 9. The excuse me, the bus comes to the stop, and the kids are supposed to come and grab their breakfast and their lunch and take it home. So they're still getting their meals, which I was so happy to see, because there's a lot of kids out there that don't get what they need
Right.
from home. So it's wonderful to see them doing that.
We we didn't know this. I mean, I certainly didn't know this until the superintendent of schools in Miami went online to say that they were closing the schools, and they were really afraid of doing that because 73% of students in Miami-Dade do not have food unless
Mhm.
they're in school.
Right. So that's why I was so ecstatic whenever we got the call from, the superintendent calls all parents, just as a mass greeting, but said, hey, send your kids out to the bus stop, whomever gets lunch, and then have them come good. So this, it happens every day.
Wow. Wow, that and
Yeah, it's
actually
great.
that's a great system because I know here they're having the parents like on Monday morning go to the school and pick up the food for the week. Um, which I just it boggles my
Yeah,
mind that in the
daily.
United States that our kids are undernourished and are so based on the necessity of having food in schools. So this is having a huge. eh, there's a whole lot more going on that we haven't been speaking about as a nation, I think. So, oh my gosh. All right.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna ask you the fun questions because we've been really deep and dark, and I'm so sorry. Usually we don't go quite that. But I mean, I guess it's important to talk about it too because like we're dealing with it. This is something that it would be really easy not to talk about it, but I think that we kind of have to, just because it
Yeah.
helps you feel better and helps other people feel better knowing that they're not alone. So, all right. So I have
Right.
10 questions that I ask that are based on Bouillon de Culture, hosted by Brevard Pivot, that got translated into Inside the Actors Studio, which was hosted by James Limpton. It's been on PBS for like a million years. And these are
Okay.
the questions that were designed by psychiatrists and psychologists to get to know you better. All right,
Uh,
the fun begins. It's really not hard.
I'm ready.
I answered all of them. I will tell you my answers if you want. They change daily. What is your favorite word and why?
Love. Um, just because I like to spread it. I don't know.
I agree.
That's
That
the
was
first
mine too. That's
mine.
my favorite word.
Well, there you go.
There you go. What is your least favorite word and why?
No. Um, because there's got to be a way. I don't like to take no for an answer. So
Mine is can't, but it kind of goes along that same
yeah.
vein of no, you can't. And I was like, it's a
Right.
conjunction. That doesn't work. I've got to come up with something else.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, because I don't like saying no, and I don't let my students say no either. I always
Mhm.
say we can do it. We need help. So,
Right. Exactly.
what turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Um, I music. I think music always is something that just speaks to me, whatever mood I'm in. The right song just is, I don't know, it you in more ways than words can say. That makes think is one thing that definitely is helpful for me for any aspect of life.
I'm going to ask you a weird question because I don't know if it's just me, but I answered it the same. So, okay. Um, but do you have a soundtrack to your life? I have a soundtrack to my life. I hear a song and it immediately takes me back to that point in my life. Does that happen to you too?
Yeah. Yes. Totally it does. And then I can go from the spectrum of like classical music to, oh my goodness, the other end. So
Way to
it's
wherever the
just,
other end is. Yeah, I
way
know.
yeah. But there's a time and a place for everything, and sometimes you need that different. A word is not enough, where a feeling from a song is what you need.
I agree. No, again, I totally. We're sharing a brain here. I see this. See, this is why I do this because I know that there are people
That's
that my
right.
people are out there. I just have to find them.
That's right.
Okay, so what turns you off creatively, spiritually, or emotionally? Oh, did we lose her? We froze.
Um,
I got you. Okay, I got you now.
what turns me off with that? Okay, negativity. I am a very positive person. I'm not a pessimistic person, and um, it is frustrating when I hear people, I can't do that, or there's no way, and I'm like, yes, there is, or I always something goes wrong, and I'm like, look at the bright side. This could be this way, or it could be this way. I mean, I'm always a half full person.
I was just gonna say, how are you dealing in this? Because again, I'm the same way. So how are you dealing with this situation globally, emotionally, with this? Because between I've had to stop doing TV and the internet. I can't. And I don't ever say that, but I'm like my husband just laughed because I know I shouldn't be, and yet I still do. Stop, Miss Mike. Stop. How are you dealing with it?
I think I'm a very emotional person. Anybody that I can again be that light to go, okay, if I tell you about a person that can save you, Jesus, God, it's an opportunity to talk about that and witness. But, um, someone else's negativity to somehow impact me, whereas I'll then go, okay, how can I help you not think that way? How can I help you have a better attitude moving forward? Because it can be worse.
It can always be worse. Trust me, it can always be worse. I have learned that the hard
Right.
way. I shouldn't laugh about it. I shouldn't laugh about it. I tried it. I often I talk about what I've been through and my experiences, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, how do you handle it?" And I'm like, I don't think about that. I think about what's on the other side of it. Uh, and I think that when we get bogged down in the what if, and I know that last week part of what happened with me going to the hospital was because my brain just went, wait, my business just shut down. What am I going to do? And I don't usually get into a dark place. And immediately I went there, which doesn't usually happen. And it was like, this happened. I went, never mind, everything's fine. We're good. It'll be fine.
That's right. That's right.
It was like,
It will all be
hello.
fine.
This too shall pass, whether you think it
Everything
will
will
or
work.
not. All right. So, what
Exactly. So why be unhappy? if you can be happy.
Exactly. And people ask me too, how are you so positive? I'm like, it's a choice.
It is. It is.
Happy
I get the
is
same
not
thing. So,
not happy is not something you buy. Happy is not the place that you live. Happy is not how much stuff you have. Happy is a decision you make every morning you get up and deal with life. So,
and it's a minute to minute decision.
yes.
I mean, anything can happen at any moment in time, and I choose to not let things bury me, whereas I choose to learn from them and keep moving forward in a positive way because I would rather be happy, disgruntled, or whatever. That's just my choice, and I'm happier for it, and I'm better for it. I feel like it helps me tackle anything that I go through.
So you're being your own philosophy and your own platform of being the light and hopefully sharing.
Exactly.
It all comes back to that. See, there we go. You have a platform, you just didn't
So
know it.
that's why I like my platform is because I'm just me. So there's nothing other than just myself that I'm sharing and doing. So
But be the light
it always comes back.
is a platform. It is your philosophy, and it's how you're trying to be able to help other people
Yeah.
um, find their light, which I think is an important part of this whole adventure. Like,
Yes.
so.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Oh my gosh, I feel a trip to Illinois coming on. Oh God. Oh wait, actually, I'm supposed to be there.
Yay! If we
All
can
right,
get out of the house.
I will try to get in there. We will get out. Well, we will get out of here eventually. It's gonna happen. So, okay. So what
I
noise?
believe it will.
It'll happen. It's just we have to get through that 14, 21 day period where everyone's actually following the rules and doing what they're supposed to be doing and staying inside and spending time hanging out with us, doing whatever it is they've got to do to spend the time. But if everybody does that, we can cut the curve and be safe and then go back to the world the way it was. So. If you look at pictures from India, India is
Right.
locked down, the country with the most people in the world, and there is nobody on the streets in India. Thank you for being the role model. That's what we need to do. So, all right. So, what sound or
Exactly.
noise do you love and why?
Um, Laughter. Um, I love to hear, I'm petite. However, my laugh is very loud and boisterous. So
Do you snort? That is the question.
yes,
Oh
yes,
my
I
gosh,
will
we
admit,
must have been separated at
yes,
birth. Are you serious?
yes, oh
Oh,
yes.
okay. I hate
We,
asking.
we,
How old are you?
over 40.
Oh, come on. I'll be 54 in June. Give me a break.
Oh, I'm not 50 yet.
Okay. I see. I
But
am.
you're
Okay.
beautiful. I would
Oh,
never have
thank
guessed that.
you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. I would never have guessed that.
So, Fatima says,
But
hello, Robin. She popped on. She's
yeah,
so
I
sweet.
think we're
Oops, but anyway.
hello.
So, she says she's messaging me. I can't log on to Instagram. I'm like, I had to change the password. I'll give it to her later. It makes it hard. Um, I'll I'll send it to you later, Fati. Let me finish. Okay, so what sound or noise do you hate?
Um, crying.
Girl,
Crying has a sound.
stop taking my answers. I kid you
Seriously?
not. I seriously. Oh, wait. You want to see one of the funniest things ever?
Yes.
You're gonna see. No, stop, Siri. I'm not talking to you. I was doing an interview earlier for the American Heart Association, and she kept talking, and I was like, stop. I'm like, Siri, we're not asking you for your opinion. Okay, so you say seriously like that, right? Say seriously again.
Yeah. Seriously.
Okay. Oh, stop. Ready?
I
Wait,
can't
wait,
see
wait.
it. Oh no.
You can't see it, and I can't hear it. It's hold on. Is that not the cutest? Hold on, I'll do it again.
That is.
Seriously? I'm sorry. It's one of my students. She said that, and because I say that just like that. I go, seriously? And then she did it back to me, and I went, oh, okay. I didn't mean by a
Great.
3-year-old. Oh my gosh. Okay. I like you. I gotta go to Illinois now and hang out with you. We'll go have coffee when this is all done.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
So, what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Nursing.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Even though I'm a very passionate person about and compassionate, I feel like it might be hard for me to deal with some of the bad things that I see and the things that are heartbreaking. But again, it's helping people, so I feel like I could use a way my compassion to help others. So medicine.
Oh, that's sweet. You make my heart happy. Everyone always asks me where I got my medical degree. I'm like, life. I don't have one, but I don't want their job. I appreciate everything they do, but it's super super hard. So, so
Yeah.
on the counter, what profession would you not like to do?
Oh wow. I was gonna say teacher, but not. So I'm not sure. That's a tough one because maybe a politician because that's just not. I'm not someone that is fake. So not that all politicians are. I'm not saying that, but I will say that I have uh, my own agenda, which is just to help people. I know that most patients want that or other things that kind of have to help.
Right. Yeah.
So
I have
wouldn't want to
tried.
be put in that.
I agree. I answered the same way. Um, and I ran for office.
Did you?
So did my husband. I was like, what were we thinking? I mean, I wasn't with him then, but like, I'm glad I didn't win because like now that we're on the other side of it, and I'm glad my husband didn't win when he ran too because we see how complicated it is. My best friend works
Yeah.
for the city of Miami, um,
Hmm.
and I see what she does, and no, I don't want that job. No, no, no. Mm-mm. I can do way more good this way and
I would.
helping
I'd
people.
rather be where I am,
Exactly.
I can help them. I don't. I mean, because the certain kind of people can do it, and we need those people in office. But that's just not for me.
Okay. Okay. I'm with you. I mean, I did try. I mean, there's a part of my brain that goes, bigger purpose. How can I make a difference?
Yeah.
And I realized that that was 10 years ago. Um, and I was competing, but I hadn't quite found where I belonged in all of this. And I'm so glad that it didn't happen because now, uh, I've always been a teacher, but this really changed things for me and how we can be able to help other people this way rather than being a politician. And I can do more from behind the scenes than I could do if I were actually actively in office, I
Right.
think. So,
Exactly.
all right. So, and I'm pretty sure that you believe that heaven exists, but the question is, if heaven exists, what
Yeah.
would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Welcome home.
Aww.
Welcome home.
Mine is it took you long
Yeah.
enough. We've been trying to take you out for years and you kept fighting it.
Hey, you made me. That's what you should say after that. Yeah.
I was like, you gave me these challenges that I was able to overcome because you saw the light for me to do that. There.
There you go.
See, isn't it kind of a quirky? It's a quirky
It
list,
is.
but it really
But I
gets
like it.
it gets you out of your like pageant brain and gets you into more of, why? Why are you
Yeah,
this
I love
way?
that.
Which I love.
Yeah.
And that's the whole and if you haven't ever watched Inside, and now that you can be home and you're look up Inside the Actors Playhouse, one of the best interviews that they did in the 30 years that they did the show was with Robin Williams. Obviously don't let your daughter watch it with you because he
Yes.
was he
There's
PG?
some.
Oh,
It's,
he
yeah.
was PG except for the
What?
oh, that's right, it was on Bravo, except for Zach. That wasn't part of it either. Oh, my husband. Oh my God, that other guy in my life.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Michael, stop, please.
Laugh. That's okay.
I told you, didn't I tell you? Anyway. All right,
Yeah.
so
Just laugh.
that is my question that I always ask. Do you like frogs? Why or why not?
Do I like frogs? I like all living things, but they're cute and they can hop and they're to me, okay, I'm a really goofy person. So they kind of look goofy. So maybe it's kind of like how I feel like I look sometimes.
Why? No,
Because it's
really?
like
I love them.
not like a frog, but they just look kind of goofy and silly. And that's kind of how I am. So maybe that's how I identify.
Okay, I
These are
that
great
makes
questions.
no, see, but isn't it a weird question? It's not, and people go, "Why do you?" The first time I asked that one live because we used it before when we just used this platform as interview prep. But the first time I asked
Huh?
that on a red carpet was to Pia Warspach, Miss Universe 2015. And her
Huh?
immediate response was like, "No, I don't like frogs. When I was a little kid, I used to put our shoes out in front of the house before we went in the house, and I did that at night. And I got up in the morning and I put my foot in the shoe, and there was a frog in it. And she goes, "No, no, I don't like frogs."
That's awesome.
And then
That's awesome.
immediately like looked at me and Pia to me is so elegant and well spoken and just very even keeled and like any nothing like even when the oops happened at Miss Universe she was just like so
Yeah.
like it's me
Like
really
it's okay.
okay really are they talking about but like and
So
so to
composed.
have
Yes.
her be so like emotive it was like oh yes we are adding this one all the time
Great.
some people
No,
look
that's
at it
great. I didn't want to really go to the negative and be like, no, I don't like things because that's just not me, So
but I mean if because I some people have real experiences that like for me I don't like snakes like I love living things but when I was 5 a snake my birthday party was outside and a one of the big rat snakes wrapped around my leg so
oh gosh.
yeah I
Yeah.
stepped on it and it wrapped around me and like and that whole don't tread on me thing like I was like nope nope not okay and it's not that I don't love frogs. It's just or snakes. It's just I don't want to deal with them up close. They have a
Right.
purpose on the planet. They do something. Snakes protect us. They get rid of vermin. They do all these amazing things. I just don't need to see it or
Yes.
be around them when it happens.
Agreed. I'll agree with you on the snake thing. Yes.
Okay. Does your daughter have a title now?
No, she does not.
Okay, because as I say, if she wants to get her crown on her sash, she can come in and say hi if she wants to.
No, she's not competing or racing on dance. And so her love is ballet. So we've been doing a lot of dancing. I've done a lot of dance classes, and she was in the Nutcracker and had a few parts this year. So it was really awesome to see how she's blossomed from starting out in ballet and to today. It's awe inspiring. I just sit there and I just cry.
Oh, how old
Proud
was she
mommy.
when she started?
She started when she was 2.
Whoa. So she's
Yeah,
been dancing for 9 years? Holy mackerel.
yes,
Wow. More
yeah.
power
I
to
just
her.
love. Yeah, it's just something. Anybody who watches her dance can tell that she absolutely just feels it through her. So it's definitely a gift.
Wow. And do you think that, with what you guys have been experiencing with pageantry separately but together as well, do you think that since she's clearly got this talent, do you think she would go into like a system like MAOT, or do you think you would go to a different type of
Um,
system like NAM or something like that?
I would like that. She likes to do all the categories because we were just talking about this the other day about how dude and they don't even have evening gown really anymore. And she's like, "It's not a pageant,"
It's
but I
back.
mean, she
It's
goes,
back.
"I love talent," but
It's back.
she's still 11, so she's still into all of it.
Yeah.
It's not as
But
much of a
but
purpose
but
as it is for me.
evening gown is back for Miss America. They're talking about possibly doing um, athletic wear instead of swimsuit. So just so you know,
Good.
yeah, that was they just had a board change again, and that was one of the first things the new board did. So
Well,
because we
I would
still
love
want to
for
be
her to do
pretty
that kind of stuff
princesses.
because of course, yeah. And she does all the pageants that she does, they usually have talent, and she always does talent. Like that's the one that she wants to do the best on. Like out of everything else, it's the dance that she works so hard to make sure that it is exactly right. So, um, yeah, I would love to get her into that system because it's not only good for what she enjoys, it's also scholarship money, which, let's face it, that's only going to go up.
I
for
understand. That is true. Well, okay, so hypothetical
Yeah.
question. If she could be on America's Got Talent, so you think you could dance, or World of Dance, which one would you want her to be on?
I don't know the world of dance, so I can't really speak on that. But I would tell you, so you think you could dance?
Okay. World of
She,
Dance, if you can go back and look at it, is really cool because it's J Lo, Neo, and Derek Huff. So,
okay.
but
Oh, well, then, yeah, I would totally love that. Yes, I know who they are. Yeah, then probably them. Yeah, either one of those. I love the way So You Think You Could Dance gives them the opportunity to do a bunch of different dances that they're not used to doing, and so it expands what they know. So yeah, she does hip hop too a little bit. So she's got
wait, how did
a
she do
little
hip hop? And well,
right.
actually, has she looked at
Yeah.
the hip? It's hop hop lay or hip lay. It's hip hop
No.
and ballet combined.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up because
Look it
that
up.
she would.
It is,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. I,
Okay, I will.
I mean, because I mean, like
We have.
I watch So You Think
Okay.
You Can Dance religiously, and I have a thing for Twitch. Like, I just think he's amazing. I
Yeah.
think he changed So You Think You Can Dance tremendously, just the whole experience. And watching someone who is classically trained do hip hop is,
Hmm.
we're in
It's
trouble.
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
really
no. So imagine people doing hip hop in point.
is. That would be awesome. Yeah, we're gonna look that up tonight when I
Yeah, I seriously,
later on.
I watched the
When
first
I
time I
told my
saw
daughter,
it.
she'll be like, "Oh my gosh, yes, we have to do that."
Then you're gonna have to find someone that teaches it, because then if she sees it, she's gonna want it.
Of course, but I mean, before we really started her into her new school that she goes to now, she was teaching herself. Her first pageant that she did talent, she went out there and basically made it up on the fly. We happened to bring an extra outfit, and I said, do you want to do it? And she's like, yeah. So she picked a song and went out there and just made it up and did it on her own. And my mouth was on the floor. Yeah.
Wow. But I say the best answers, regardless of what they go into, if they don't have ballet,
Yes.
then it's really, really, because I own a gymnastics company. So in fact, well, it wasn't a lot of dance today, but we did dance today because we have to work on those lines. It's the same lines, but if you don't have a good, strong classical training, it's really hard to do all of the other styles as well.
Absolutely.
So, it's like trying to find and develop one of my students picked up dance at 9, and she's struggling because she she did gymnastics before,
Uh-huh.
and the discipline is different and the lines
Yes.
are
Yes.
different, and she's going, but this, and I'm like, no, it's different. And so when she came to me and she said, hey, I'm not going to do gymnastics anymore, I really want to do dance, I was like, I totally understand. I said, get the basics, get your classical stuff down, and then come back and we'll do gymnastics with you, because it's really hard to have them until you've got a good, strong, well,
Right.
were
Yep.
you a dancer too?
Yep. Yes. But she is way better than I ever was.
She's got the genetics, of course. There you go. See, you just have to
I
share
was
them
gonna say,
all.
I should probably not say that too loud. Yeah. She'll hear me and go, yes, mom, I'm better. But I'm being honest. Yeah. But she did come from me. So you're right.
Good,
I
good.
should at least think of it that way.
Oh, and at that point, my fur baby just went, wait, mom, guess what? I told you it would happen. She's slowly inching her way. You want to say hi, baby? All right. We have been on for an hour, so I will let you get
Oh,
back to. I see. I told you, didn't I tell you? It goes so fast, so fast.
yes. Well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. And it's so nice to talk to you and get to know you. And I would love to talk to you again, like beyond being
Yeah.
on the live.
One
You got
and now you
to come to
can
Illinois.
call me, and I'd love to. If you're ever in Miami, let me know, or Florida, I can move around.
Yeah.
Um, what
I
would you like to
family. I've
share?
got some family in both places.
Oh, okay. So
What is that?
I was gonna say, when travel opens up, you can come. Um, what
Yeah.
would you like to say to everybody that we haven't talked about yet?
That we haven't talked about. Um, I just want to to be positive, whatever the circumstances are, because um, you cannot progress in life unless you accept what has happened in your life and go, okay, we can do this. I can do this. What can I do to make it better? And so I just want to be able to be that light to everybody individually, to whether organizations need my help, of whatever they need for helping others. Positivity, positivity, positivity. Faith, hope, love. Be
Yes,
light.
be light.
Be light.
Excuse me, sorry. And people want to stalk you, I mean, contact you. Um,
Yeah.
I put your Instagram tag at Mrs. underscore IL underscore elite underscore nation of states, so that if they want to contact you about doing a speaking appearance, or maybe they want to talk more about your pageant journey, I put that on there so that people can contact you. And then the replay of this will be uploaded to YouTube. So if you want to share it to people, it is live on Facebook now. So thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate it. I'm so
And
glad that
I
I was able to
just
work this in. So I appreciate it so much.
me too. And I thank you for your time. I know you got a ton going.
This gets me out of
Hopefully
that place.
everything
So this is important. So
will feel better.
thank you. I appreciate
If I
it.
can do anything, if I can do anything to make you smile while you're not feeling the best, you just give me a ring.
Honestly, just thank you. I appreciate that. Honestly, it means so much to me, and I think we all just need it. We just need hugs and love, and just to remember that um, this too shall pass. The planet's doing what the planet is supposed to do at this particular juncture for whatever reason. My personal opinion is that with everybody shutting down and going home and staying in, it gives the planet a moment to heal itself, uh,
Hmm.
which I think
Great.
is really, really. They've said that in parts of China they don't have any pollution in the sky anymore. There are parts of Italy that they can see rivers that they haven't been able to see the bottoms of them. Uh, the planet will take care of itself, and I think that we just have to recognize that maybe we're not doing what we need to be doing to be able to be good to her in the right ways. And she's going, hello. So,
Exactly.
but this will pass.
Exactly.
This will pass. All right, my love. Hold tight. Don't hang up with me. I'm going to tag you
Well,
out
thank
so
you
they
so
can't
much
see
for having
you.
me.
All right.
Okay.
Hold on.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank
Have a good night.
you.
Be a
You
light.
too. Be the light. All right, everybody. Thanks for being on. I really appreciate everybody being part of this, participating, watching. If you're on at home and you're watching later on, leave comments. You can find Robin, like I said, on Instagram, where she can share her experiences. And then you can follow her journey too. Hopefully, she'll be taking the crown in June. So you can be able to
Yeah.
get information on that as well. As always, thank you, everybody, for being our crownie and being part of our world. Like the page if you haven't already. Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We've got different content on everything. We are so grateful for all of you. In the world right now, we need more of this. Ellen DeGeneres says it at the end of all of her shows, be kind to one another, and I believe it strongly. Please do that because we need more love right now. Have a great night, everybody. And that's a wrap. Thanks so much.